Hey y'all, so I wanted to talk about something that is really important that, from my experience, I think that you should really put time and take picking out your baby's name seriously, because it's your baby's name and you don't want him or her to have a name that is just awful. So I when I chose my daughter's name, I wanted her name to have meaning. I wanted her name to be purposeful because I'm raising a young woman. I'm raising a queen, and I want to raise someone that is just full of integrity and respect and loves herself and has confidence and respects people and respects herself. I just want to raise the type of woman that I am aspiring to be every day. So, with that being said, I wanted to make sure she had a good, strong name. And I picked the name Sinai. Sinai just came to me one day. I was sitting in the hospital watching my son, my first baby. He had a real strong name. His name was Richmond, and Richmond meant strong, and he was so incredibly strong. And his middle name was Saeed, which meant blessed. So his name put together meant strong, powerful, and blessed, which those are all the three things that my baby was, is, and will forever always be. But now that I have a daughter, I want to make sure that I still keep that same pattern going. And even though Sinai doesn't really mean anything as far as like beautiful or anything like that, which really it means that to me because Sinai is a beautiful name, but Sinai is symbolic because it's where Moses did the Ten Commandments or read the Ten Commandments, and it's just a place where sacredness took place, and it's a very valuable place. But her middle name means blessed, and that's Saida. I wanted to make sure that she had some connection with her brother, even though she won't be able to get to meet him like I wanted her to meet him. She will still have that connection with him. His middle name was Saeed. You add an A at the end, it's Saida. It still means blessed in Hebrew. And then, last but not least, my mom just absolutely loves the name Grace. So she's gonna have three names, and it's gonna be Sinai, Saida, Grace. And we thought this through. We thought this out. We've said it 150 times. We call her that every day, and that's just gonna be her name. So I highly recommend that you really think about what you want to name your baby, and don't let anyone pressure or bully you into naming your child. This is your child. This is your child's life. It's nothing to play with. It's not a game. I remember last year, actually 2 other girls that I was pregnant with last year, they named their kids stuff that they didn't really want to name their kids. One girl named her son after his dad. She didn't really want to. She wanted to think of something different. She wanted to do something different. But she was so gung-ho on appeasing him and helping him feel better about it, which really he's not even like, he's probably barely around now, but their relationship wasn't all that great, and I don't know if that plays a factor, but it plays a factor for me. Like, I'm not going to name my child after you and you're not a good example, and you're not someone or something that I want my child to look up to. So that's a whole nother story, but don't feel like you owe someone your child's name, because you don't. Then I had another girl that I used to be cool with. She was pregnant, and she, like, her auntie just gave her this hideous name. Like, it sounded like a seasoning or a seasoning salt. And she named it just because she felt so pressured and overwhelmed and couldn't say no. One thing about me is I know how to say no, and I know how to say no. Just plain and simple no. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be disrespectful. But at the end of the day, it's your child. It's your baby's name. and it's nothing to play with, because they'll give you this ugly name and be moving on with their lives, and then their children and grandchildren have these beautiful names, and your child has this seasoning salt name. So be careful with who you listen to and who you have around you, because if they're giving you ugly names, 9 times out of 10 they don't really care, they don't really know. I have no idea. But take your child's name seriously.